Okay, hopefully that worked. I don't fucking know. Just because you are familiar with bullshit, that doesn't mean that I have to be familiar with bullshit, and also that doesn't mean that I'm gonna tolerate your bullshit. So yes, that's how we're gonna start this chat. There's so much. I have so much to say. Oh, I have so much to say. I need another glass. It's been the thoughts. Just because someone doesn't say something publicly online doesn't mean that they are not saying it privately offline. And it also doesn't mean that they're not thinking it. So I think there's this sort of idea of political correctness in our society where because people are not publicly saying shit on Twitter and they're not publicly saying shit and addressing it directly on YouTube or whatever other platforms niggas are using to express shit, there's this idea that people are not feeling the exact way they feel. This is why my opinions sound unpopular. If you live in the real world, you realize that they're just common thing. Like so many people have simply been cut the fuck off. Like someone decided to no longer deal with you anymore in any capacity whatsoever, and they didn't make a loud exit that was argumentative. Instead, they made a silent escape. I feel like there have been many a black women and women in general who have done this for men. And because no one has come to their faces and said, you're so despicable that I don't want to tolerate your existence anymore. And then they just like ran away and moved to like a different community and neighborhood and forgot the people from their past. That is a real fucking thing. I saw Russell Hartley made a video about that today. And all I could think was like, oh my fucking God, I know. I had to do that too. Mm, but I guess what I'm starting to realize is that because there's no explanation for those people, like sometimes you just leave them in the past and they keep telling stories about you, even though you're not there. Like your life goes on too. Like when someone leaves your life in any capacity, the reality is like everybody's life moves forward. Like they have a narrative and you have a narrative, and it isn't just like your personal perspective, whether they harmed you or they didn't, or they liked you or they didn't. They tomorrow are going to have to like eat their meals and sleep somewhere and, probably spend some money. You know what I mean? Like all of the requirements of daily living, also including feeling their feelings about being members of society. That is what I want to continue to go back to here, because I do feel like there's some very strange, and it's like a fucking parasocial situation. Like I also want to say this. If you come across me in real life, feel free to just talk to me the way that I'm talking to you. You can disagree with me about something. You can say like, "Oh my god, I saw your stuff." I don't think it's creepy. This is not a private channel. Like I have private videos and stuff there. I know how to use the private function, right? Anything that I didn't make private is public for a reason. So it's kind of fair game. You can talk about it. But yeah, so those of you who I've met offline, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please participate in the community. Like if you don't like the content, just don't watch it, you know what I mean? But if you do, like don't be a shadow stalker, because I have a lot of those. And those people become weird. And like if you're not interested in what I have going on over here, go somewhere else. Like I want you I'm trying to give you some like game right now. Talking, it's not even behind my back, but talking like about this space and what we have going on here in another space is not only not useful, you're simply detracting from your own life. You know what I mean? Like the things that I bring here, I can't, like I live in the real world like every day. Even since this started, before it started, there are so many experiences that I've had offline I just have never talked about online. they're not online. I didn't document them online. And I think it's really unfortunate because what I'm seeing right now is a lot of this like social media curation where, you know, it's like you're seeing these experiences by some people that you know don't match. And then if you're following the right people, you actually see the experiences that do match. And then you're like, huh. And so some people are not able to add things up, but society like has not changed. And so like there's a couple of instances specifically that I'm thinking about, but I want to talk about dating and relationships for a second because I do. Here's one thing I've seen, and it seems to follow me like the fucking plague. Um, Men in society, especially like black men, are clustering black women by like skin types and skin tones and hair textures and socioeconomic classes and experiences that, oh god, that they've heard about. Sorry, my cats. Experiences that they've heard about and all the shit. And in reality, like that, it's just not it's just not that useful, you know, because like men are liars. I don't know other way to say that. Men are losers and liars. Really, people are losers and liars, but the men specifically are like losers and liars. So you guys are taking advice online from men with like podcasts who are losers and liars who aren't giving you good advice. And then there are other things I am starting to see this too. They're like successful men, whatever that means on paper, like whatever your career is, you're like doing your career, which kind of feels like that was going to happen anyway. Like if you just stay doing the same fucking thing for like 50 years or something, you're going to like be good at it because you've done it for so long. In the same way that like I've been, you know, vlogging on this year like Mike with this like podcast. So I can fucking tell a story at this point because I've just been doing it for so long. Over time, you do the same thing, you're going to get better at it. Now, here's the thing. When I first started this, it was very confusing for me because I couldn't figure out how to get to the beginning, middle, and end when I'm starting from like an active story that's happening in real time. And then sometimes you don't understand your own perspective because like there's so many other people around you who are also saying shit like your parents, your neighbors, your friends, your lovers, whatever, and they're all saying all this shit and it just keeps going around and it's like white noise. And so it's really hard for you to like see understand like get a how do you say like a Windows view, and the window view is like important to analyze like exactly what is happening to you. So this kind of applies in a few aspects, but I was talking about specifically men and like black men and how this relates to black women. So I feel like the whole point was like to watch, or the I think that the point of the online commentary about women, black women specifically, is to make these videos that can hopefully be used for the future and the past to analyze women's past and present behavior, to make predictions about the future, right? All of a sudden, all these niggas are like statisticians. They have like ML fucking models to understand women, even though they have no fucking women and like all of us have left them. Yet still there's some like hope for the future. There was like a clip I saw, it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, where Hassan Piker just basically said it was like he read incels for filth in a way that like needed to be said. He basically said that they should give up. He was like the incels were making some comments about women or something, hoping that the women would change. And he said, you guys are barking up the wrong tree because you'll never have any women, and you should concentrate on like the ingredients in the Cheetos bag, because if that changes, then that is something that is directly applicable to your life, not what women are doing. And I've never like heard something so true in like my whole life. Like it just really rang true. And I guess the way that this applies is like I feel like people are coming here being fucking brand new. Like everyone wants to feel like, oh, their stories and their friend group of five fucking people with the people that they went to school with, whatever the hell that means. Like that is their truth. And then whatever the fuck we have going over here is like not real. This is why I've kind of kept this channel going, just to really be like documentation that's like time stamped and very fucking real of like this happened and then this happened and here's the video. I'm like not making it up. This really happened. And the really cool thing about like doing that in a vacuum as everyone else is living their life is like nobody can like go back and be like, oh yeah, that thing that really happened that's on camera that you described and put like a date on it, it didn't happen. Cause it's like there. And then you could just watch it and you just have to like sit with the fact. Like some people, more people are having conversations right now about pretty privilege, about socioeconomic class. The Nepo babies graduated to like New York and NYU and Tish and what that means, legacy, things like that. And the reality is that even if you weren't participating in those conversations, even if you didn't know that that was happening, even if you don't understand what assortative mating is, all that shit is happening around you every day. Now, the thing that has been like fucking busting my chops for a while is like how men, especially black men who know what assortative mating is and know like they are versed enough, they're educated enough, they're rich enough to like understand that like pretty women have power and like they kind of need the pretty women in order to like propagate on. But then you look at their wives and like they literally don't have any pretty women or like the pretty women are not in their group. Like I don't want to continuously harbor on Alandria, but I just think she's a really good example. Like Alandria is a very pretty black girl. And it's like we don't even have to have questions about like what other things she is. Like you could have questions about like which African country she has roots from or like but it's like very clear she's black, right? But she's also like very pretty. She has like a lot of pretty privilege. And like she's probably not going to partner with a black man. And we have literally documented and watched on screen so many black men denigrate her and downplay and women all just so many people like downgrade what she actually is. And some of that, and I've talked about this before on this channel, is the like it's the unwillingness to accept that like black women are women and they occupy a real space in the society, American society specifically. It's not like a large space that should be envied. It's just like a very minute space, but it does like exist. And I feel like I personally have gone out of my way to practice non-participation. So like I know the space that I'm like supposed to occupy. I just have like refused to occupy that space. And because I have not occupied that space, it's opened that space up for someone else to take it. Now the problem is like that seat, like let's say the seat is like being someone's wife or being someone's mother, being someone's, caretaker or whatever. Like it's not just about like the birth rate crisis. That is a real crisis in this country, but there's like other things too. Like you need the Nara Smiths to like be married and have babies. Like you actually need that because like no one is going to see like other society like you kind of look like a weak society if you have a bunch of like fat unattractive dumb women who are like breeding when in female society there's like these traits and characteristics that are like promoted and celebrated. And so like it like let's for instance right now in our society we have like thinness and facial symmetry, clarity of skin, nutritional health. All these things are like promoted and propagated as being positive, right? So if you have someone who is embodying that and then that person is like not selected, like basically if you have a group of very healthy, very like lively, very beautiful women who like are not mating, that goes against like not only like the biological clock, but like the societal function. And for a while, that's been what's happening in the Black community. I've been talking about it a little. I didn't use those terms specifically, but like it's a problem and it's a systemic problem. I feel like some Black men are understanding it now, but it's like a little bit too late. That's not the point either. The point is like, so what does that mean for like everyone else? Because I feel like I'm very confused about why you guys like that, well, Black men are a part of society video. But to like branch off of that just a little bit more, the big idea is like other groups of men, like white men, Hispanic men, Asian men, everybody wants their group to be great. Like men want to like look at themselves and then look at their partner and then look at their children and be like, we're fucking great. Like we're great. We're great. Because men are going out into the world and like competing for shit. Oh my god, get Mike, get seriously, don't do that. No, 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 no. You don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna put spikes on there so you don't do that. I can't believe you did that. He hopped on top of the television. Anyway, so basically, there was a conversation that happened with JT, you know, from City Girls, and I'm gonna make another video about that. Maybe we'll like save this, but she was talking about how dark skinned men who like are darker than her don't like women like her, and they prize like lighter skinned women. That's true because colorism in the Black community is real. But also, there's like not there's a group of really unattractive dark skinned Black women. There's also a larger growing group of unattractive light skinned Black women. Most women in the world, in all the groups, so like most of the Latina women aren't very attractive, most of the white women aren't very attractive, most of the Asian women aren't very attractive. They're like average or below average, especially in America because so many are like overweight. And then you just have like a bunch of features that just are not aesthetically pleasing on a lot of people. Like on a lot of people. That's why you have people talking about like looks maxing and shit right now. They're simply trying to like look not repulsive, like a non repulsive situation. It's like when you see someone with like a glaring amount of acne, it's kind of repulsive. Or if they have like a stench or something, it's repulsive. If they have like bad teeth, you're just like, ew, it's kind of repulsive, you know? If someone says they're going to do something, like message you, and they don't, it's kind of fucking repulsive, right? Like all these things um, that exist in our society, and we're not really dealing with it. I'm gonna stop for now. That's the beginning of this rant, but there's a couple other things I want to talk about. I want to talk about exactly what JT said because Justine Sky said something recently too. I thought was interesting. I want to talk about Mariah the Scientist and the post that she made today because she popped up. I want to talk about Miley Cyrus and I want to talk about the Food Stamp Girls. So stay tuned.